Hello and welcome to the fourth educational mini-series presented and provided by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. My name is Ann Bartlett. I'm the Manager of Community Outreach and Education for the agency. This series is dedicated to aging programs and services available to seniors and others in Berks County. What I'd first like to start out with is talking about our program or our segment today is going to be on a variety of programs, services, resources that are available in Berks County that is available to those seniors as well as to the folks who are caring for seniors, who are helping seniors in the Berks County community. What I wanted to start with first is to at least let you know about our agency. The Berks County Area Agency on Aging is located in the County Services Center, 633 Court Street, on the 8th floor in Reading. We also have available some satellite sites where we have our employee available at a few locations in Berks County for those folks in the outlying areas of the county. So to learn more about the satellite sites, or for any kind of question regarding our services, our programs, resources, directions, guidance, you name it, please call our agency. Our telephone number is 610-478-6500. And at the same time, what I'd like to show you right now is our website. We have a website, and you can access that by www.berksaging.org. And I happen to have that up on our screen as well right now. So after you have typed that website address, what comes up and what you're viewing right now is our home page for our agency. It obviously talks a little bit about the agency, but one of the things I wanted to point out to you is on the left side of the screen, on the navigation bars, there are a few key resources right there for you to access. Let me let you know, I want to tell you about one that is marked Senior Community Centers. When you go there, you will find all the different senior community centers in Berks County, where they are, contact information, and programs that they have available. One of the others that is also key here that I do recommend a lot of folks access is the navigation bar that says Berks County Aging and Resource Guides. And you will see that right here. And you'll also see that there are two pop-out screens. One says Local Aging Resources and More Aging Resources. The More Aging Resources are things such as our state and federal governments or other related resources that are on those levels as well. The local, obviously, is anything related to Berks County resources appropriate to aging services. If you would, if you actually click on the words Berks County Aging Resource Guides, what will happen is you will get the pop-up, it's loading, and what comes out is you see Berks County Aging Resource Guides. You see a whole variety of lists here, and I'll just read a few to you that are on this site. What I'd like to share with you is we have lists of personal care homes, nursing homes, we have home health and home care agencies. We obviously provide listings of some subsidized housing, transportation services, as well as personal emergency response systems, medical equipment, and obviously more here on this site. So that is certainly a place to start. When you open one of those sites, you will see a list of the providers within those services, and there are some names, contact, and other pieces of information. And what I would suggest that you do when you open that guide is really be prepared to know what questions you have to ask those folks, those providers of services, so that you can make a good comparison. So if, for example, you are looking for medical equipment or personal emergency responses, you happen to know, ask them things like, we're familiar with the apparel that you wear around your neck. Is there something else I can wear? What's the distance it covers? Is there a contract? How long is the contract? Is there a setup fee? Is there a monthly fee? And so on. So that when you ask those same questions to several providers, you have a good comparison to make a good decision on some of these services that you might be needing. So that's what I wanted to start with, and I thank you for that. Right now, then, I'd like to talk a little bit more about some other programs and resources that our agency may or may not provide, but we also might contract with other providers in the county or be aware of those services because we do work with them or certainly make referrals. My guest today is Dennis Scalise. He is the intake supervisor for the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. Hi, Dennis. Thanks for being with us today.
Hello, I'm glad to be here.
Dennis is here because many times as the intake supervisor, folks calling our agency usually get directed to Dennis or his staff, and that's where the first lines of defense, I guess, start in terms of really the communication of what do they need and where can we go and how can we help you. That is our purpose. So one of the things that we thought were some of the services that you may or may not know about, and we thought we'd share some brief information with you. Dennis, let's start with something that maybe folks don't know that much about in our community. We participated on a periphery, I guess, and you can explain that. But there is a system, 211 calling system, that when you dial 211, you're going to get some resources. So why don't you tell us about that system, how it kind of started, and what kinds of things we could access if I were to call 211?
Well, 211 is the 3-digit dialing code designated in the year, I think it was 2000, by the Federal Communication Commission. And what that was to help, it's just like if many people don't know where to go for information about, maybe it's traumatic brain injury, maybe it is aging services, maybe it is dental issues. So they don't really know where, if there's one place you can call to get information, and that's what 211 was designed for. What it does is connect you to a database of health and human services, private and nonprofit, that can be helpful for your situation. When you call that number, you're connected to a trained person who is able probably to draw out of you what you're really looking for, kind of get you to define and clarify, and then connect you to services. They don't connect you to the service itself, but they give you the information to, like, the phone number, and the name of the company and what they do.
So it's not a direct connection on the telephone, but they're going to give you the contact, the name of a resource or several resources, and then from there you can address what your need is.
That's correct.
And I think people aren't aware of that, and that is here in Berks County. So it should be a wide variety, not just aging, as you said, but all kinds of different services are available in the 211 system. One of the other things that is here in our county, I think that we have very privileged to have a volunteer program that is run through Berks Encore, and that program is called VITA, V-I-T-A. And Dennis, could you tell us a little bit about VITA, or as we call it, VITA?
Okay, it's the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. That program is managed through Berks Encore. It is open from January through April 15th. I recommend that when you call Berks Encore to schedule an appointment to have your simple income tax done. Can't be owning a business. They have to be very simple income tax, and you would call early so that you can get an appointment.
So they only want appointments, not walk-ins.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's by appointment only. I don't believe they do walk-ins. The reason why is that this way they can make sure that when you come in, you're going to be served and you'll get your income tax done in a timely manner.
Okay. And these are volunteers
That's
that
correct.
do the whole completion of the tax return?
And I might add, they're trained volunteers. They're trained to do the income tax and be able to even give you the latest deductions and everything that you would get from if you went privately to do that.
Okay. And I know that obviously it's through the tax season, as it were, that prime time during that tax season.
Exactly.
And you mentioned that there are, because of the training that they have received, they also do want to limit some of the folks that have large resources, many assets,
Right.
business owners.
That's correct.
For the complications of the taxes that should be gone to another tax preparer.
Exactly.
Can it be any age, Dennis, or is it just seniors?
Well, for us, it's 60 and older, but I believe VITA does do under 60 also.
Okay. All right. So then they are open. So it is a good resource for all the kind of all the folks in our county, but in particular seniors. I believe also now when we go to tax preparers, usually there's a fee, a charge for having it done. Can you
This
share?
can
Is
be
there
by
a fee
donation.
for that?
Yes, it can be by donation, what you can afford to give.
Okay.
Also.
All right. So that makes it a little bit more affordable for
Absolutely.
an older adult to be able to get their taxes filed.
And it helps keep the program running also when you can give a small donation.
Sure, certainly. So that's a nice service that's available in our community, in particular for seniors. Another one that is available here, and I can't say that it's just necessary, it's not our community only here in Berks County, but certainly we are aware of this program, and that would be the PACE and PACENet program here in Berks County, as well as the state of Pennsylvania offers the PACE and PACENet program. I think we should start with the basics, Dennis, right away with PACE is P-A-C-E, PACENet is P-A-C-E-N-E-T. It does stand for something. Could you share what it stands for with us?
It stands for Pharmaceuticals Assistant Contract for the Elderly. PACE, P-A-C-E.
Pharmaceutical Assistance Contract
Right,
for the
the
elderly.
elderly.
Okay. What does that mean?
Well, basically, it's designed for the Medicare Part B. For those in a certain, I can give you the income range. If your income as a single person is between $14,501 and $23,000, let me correct myself. For PACE, it's $14,500 and below if you're single, and for a couple, $17,700 and below. You can get.
And that was a yearly income.
That's a yearly income. There's, according to this, no limit on the asset. It can give you a program. It can help you purchase your pharmaceuticals. There, in the PACE program, I did believe there is no premium, and I believe you get your generics, for $6 and your brands for $9. PACENet is between $14,500 and then the max is $23,500 as a single. The couple is $17,701, up to $30,500. Still no limit. $8 generic, $15 brand.
So let's go back a little bit. So we have PACE's one, it's the PACE and PACENet are both pharmaceutical assistance programs.
Absolutely.
The difference between the two are really the income levels that you're allowed. PACE is a certain amount and a little lower, and you mentioned if you're a single individual or if you're a couple.
Right.
PACENet allows you then sounds to have a little bit more money, but still in a certain bracket of income. And here in Pennsylvania, that's what it's called, and I'm sure it's called other things in other states if they have such a program. And really it helps with individuals who qualify. Obviously, they need to be, I assume, 60 years of age and older.
65 and older in this.
65 and older,
And that's
okay.
what, in all of these, you have to really look for the age limits because they differ. And in PACE, it's 65.
Okay.
Okay? Our services are 60 and older. In this case, PACE is 65.
All right. So you would if you qualify, then there is an application, I'm assuming. So
that's-
who can help with filling out? applications are probably,
Ex-
pretty lengthy, or the qualifiers are what they need to also indicate. I can't just say, hey, yeah, I make this amount of money, or I don't make this amount of money, and put that down as an acceptable amount on an application. So
Well, the Area Agency on Aging contracts Berks Encore to help with those applications. You can call them directly. If you call us, we will give you their number, and you have that number at the beginning of the program, and they can help you. And sometimes they can, and you also, I believe you can go online and do that application also. But again, some people are not tech savvy. They
Right, or don't have it. Mhm.
don't have a computer.
Well, or, sometimes I know it's that fear that, will I hit the wrong button
Exactly.
so it won't save after I've put in all that information? Or do I have the right information that I'm putting in? And I know that sometimes it's just confirming with somebody, do I have this
Absolutely.
completed properly? Did I miss anything? So the resources are here to help with the application,
That's correct.
review the information, make sure that we have what we need. I don't know, Dennis, I don't want to throw you out. Do you know what someone would need to present to Berks Encore, or whoever that is filling out the application?
I'm
What I need, how can I prove? Is it I believe it's a tax preparation from the previous year.
You can
that
have
I can
that.
bring to
They
show my
have-
income.
Right. There has to have some proof of income. Exactly what they can use, I don't want to presume at the moment. But you do have to have some proof of income, proof of age also. I think you have to bring along also. Beyond that, I don't want to. I don't want to
Okay.
presume.
Okay. I know that you can access the information, at least to read up about PACE, and then of course PACEnet, on the Pennsylvania Department of Aging's website. I don't have that up, but I know that if you, again, can just type in www.State Department of Aging, their home page will come up, and you will be able to find PACE information as far as the qualifiers, the application, then some of the other pieces of information that you might need, a time frame, what it's based on, because what happens, and I've heard some folks that have been on PACE or PACEnet
Yes.
and have maybe received a one-time gift
change,
of
right.
an amount of money that they left through an inheritance, and that was enough to throw them over that income guideline. And so I know that for 1 year, that
Right.
might throw them off, but
Right.
that to not forget about it. So that if in 1 year that threw you off for
Right.
the next year, because once you reported that as your income on your tax statements, and that threw you off that following year, then that next year that you're not on it, but you have not earned any additional money, you can then go back and make sure that they understand that
Right.
that's not a normal part of your income, and reapply again,
Right.
or be reinstated
The
again.
key is very good that you don't lose it for the year you're in. Just, like all of a sudden you get money and you're going to lose your PACE for that year. No. You finish out the year, and then next year you will have to wait to reapply.
Okay, all righty. But again, all of the ins and outs, you can go to the website, you can call us, or we can provide Berks Encore's phone number. And I would suggest, obviously, talking to a counselor there, making an appointment probably to talk to them about that, because what you're going to do is, you need to know that those are the qualifiers and that you've got everything that you need to take with you. One of the other things that I don't know if folks are aware, some people are and some people are not. I know that during also with tax season and whatnot, that there are tax and rent rebates. Correct, Dennis?
That is correct.
All right, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that. How does that work, and how do we do that
I
too?
will-
How do we
let-
get some rebates?
Okay, this is for, again, Pennsylvania's 65 and older,
Okay.
or on disability, and that would be 18 to 59, 18 on up to 65. If you're on disability, I believe you can do a tax or rent rebate. The qualifiers are, again, for renters, your income has to be $15,000 or less, including only half your Social Security, but it also includes if you have pensions, if you have any kind of dividends coming in. Actually the application form's only one page, two sides. It's not very difficult. We can help you with that. You can call us. We can make an appointment to help you with that. And if you're a homeowner, it's $35,000 below, again, including only half your Social Security, but then if you have pensions or dividends, things of that nature.
So it's anything that should be an income.
Anything
to
in
you.
income.
Okay, but
it's
half,
not,
so
yes.
if your Social Security is part of that income, it's half of that, and then that might be it, or it might be then you have
Absolutely.
some of these others. Okay.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And how do I go about
You
getting
can,
it?
Actually, now, if you did it last year, you already have a form. Can I
Okay.
show this on the camera? It'll
we
look
can
just
catch
like
it.
this.
Okay.
You may get that in because you did it last year. That's fine. And if you're having difficulty and you want help to complete this form, you give us a call. We'll be glad to help you. If you didn't get it, you give us a call. We'll take your name and address, and we'll send it out to you. Again, you look at it. If you feel like you don't have a family member to help, or you think
Can't read it, maybe.
you can't read it right, or we'll be glad to help you. You must come in, make an appointment to come into the office. I'm sorry we can't make home visits to do this, but if you come into the office, we'll surely help you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else before we move on? Can you think about anything else you wanted to add before we move on?
No, you can.
We have a couple other things then moving into our office, specifically some of the different programs and services that we have within our agency. And there's a couple quick, smaller ones before we get into the farmers market program. I wanted to talk about, some people call about legal assistance. Some people call about interpreting. In other words, if they are of a different language and they need assistance in talking to a staff person about some of our programs and services. So in a sentence or two, Dennis, if you can tell us, somebody calls and needs legal assistance, has a question, maybe needs help with a power of attorney, a document, something like that.
Well, let me clarify. First, we do not have an attorney in our office. We contract with an attorney and we make a referral to that attorney if you need a power of attorney, living will, a will. And what we do with that, when you call us, we're going to ask you about financial eligibility, because it is a qualifier. We will do this actually free, but your income has to be $1,226 for a single person or less. For a couple, it's $1,600. Oh, I'm going to put glasses. This is a byproduct of aging. Okay, and reading my own writing. Yes, $1,656 for a couple. Assets must be less than $8,000.
Okay, so it's a program with somebody with limited resources,
Right.
obviously limited resources, limited income, assets,
Exactly.
to be able to receive, first of all, assistance through this program. And it's limited, is it not, in what the lawyer can
Right.
do?
We stay out of like criminal and any kind of civil complaints, but we'll do, let's say you've lost your Social Security or your SSI benefits. We can help look at that situation, see why you did. Let's say you're having an issue and you have an eviction notice for your landlord. We can help there also.
Okay. Let's move on to, just real briefly, I know that we have interpreting services available in our agency. How does that work, Dennis?
If you call us and you want to refer a referral for service and you do not speak English, first of all, we will get you directly to a voicemail for the we have a Spanish voicemail that we can get you to. For others, we have an interpreting service that for any language, that we will be able to use to be able to get the information from you to do a referral for services, and that our assessors can go out and use the same interpreting services. And also we have for Spanish-speaking and I wish I could remember all the languages she knows. She's we have a person there live also that helps.
So when they retrieve that message in Spanish in
Yeah.
our office, then
Yes.
there's an individual who will
Right.
respond.
That's correct.
And get back to them
Absolutely,
and then see what the needs
with one
are.
of our intake workers so that we can.
And
do it
otherwise,
for-
we have the ability to accommodate other languages.
Yes, and yes, we do.
Terrific. And one other area I think that we're very proud of in terms of having in our office, we have a representative from the Veterans Affairs office, local Veterans Affairs office. Do you want to mention a
Very quickly, she's there Monday and Wednesdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You have questions about benefits for seniors and services. That person is the person to go to. You can call us, and maybe you have questions about our services, but then you're thinking, you know what? I also could think. I also know my father's a veteran, or I'm the son of a veteran. We can get you in contact immediately that day with a veteran service officer, or if it's a day that she's not there, we can make a referral directly for you.
Okay, that's great. And I
Yeah.
think because they do coincide many times, I
Yes.
know when we're at resource fairs and whatnot, there's a lot of dual questions on
Exactly.
benefits for the veteran as well as the aging individual. One last program that I really would like to talk about and spend a minute or two, there's a program that's called the Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program. Wish it had a good acronym, but yeah. And please tell us how that benefits seniors in our community.
It benefits both seniors and farmers markets. The checks are actually 4 $5 checks that will become available starting June 1st. They're available through September 30th. That's the give out dates.
Okay.
You can use them up until November 30th. So I know I'm throwing dates at you, but you can use them up to November 30th. And can I recommend that you use them? It's amazing. We give out to almost 3,250 seniors every year. We give out these farmers market check, but only about 80, maybe 88% use them, and that's a good 12% that do not use these. And it's a
So where can we use them, Dennis? If we have to, can any senior use them? Are there qualifiers? And then where can they use
the
them?
qualifier is 60 years of age or older, or you're going to be 60 this year.
Okay.
If you're going to be 60 this year, anytime from January through December 31st, you are eligible. Your income, that I can't give you exact income, but there is an income eligibility, and we will give that to you when we get that. That's going to come probably in May. We'll get all that information. So I don't want to say anything because it's going to change.
Okay.
You can get them at our office. If you're living in a high-rise, generally we will be there. Your manager sets up a time for us to go there, and we hand them out. Get them out. You can get them at Berks Encore. If you're care managed through us, our care managers will be able to get them to you. So there's many ways of getting them.
Okay. And another opportunity is to certainly call us at our agency to,
Yes.
to verify and clarify where and
Yes.
when. Tell us real quickly, how can I spend how can I spend my money? I have got
plenty of ways. Oh, no.
4 $5 checks for what foods, and where can I get them in the time that we have?
This is for only, you can use these for only fruits and vegetables grown in Pennsylvania. The checks cannot be used for jams or honey or any processed food, including if you get a watermelon, let's say it's grown in Pennsylvania, or a cantaloupe that's grown in Pennsylvania, and they cut it up and package it, you cannot use it for that.
Okay.
It is for the whole fruit, the whole vegetables grown in Pennsylvania.
And where do I buy them?
In farmers markets only. You can't go to any of the grocery stores
okay.
and get them. Farmers
And I
market.
believe the farmer's market, because of what you give them in terms of the checks, you give them something that they can look at
It's
the
a green-
farmer,
it's
the,
a laminated
the stand at the
yeah.
farmer's market and know which one is participating.
Yeah, it's a laminated, it's about 8.5 by 11. You'll see participating in the senior farmers market nutrition program.
Okay. I think that's a great program for folks to keep in mind that it has been annually for that time frame, and to get more information and to want to know the figures for qualifying this year, please call our agency, and that's the Berks County Area Agency on Aging at 610-478 6500. Again, please call our agency for any questions, resources. We only were able to touch on a few. The other programs that we will have available in this series will touch upon other avenues and services available also in Berks County. And to remind you again that if you also want to access us through our website, it is www.berksaging.org, and you will see our homepage, and you can see some of the resources on through our homepage. I thank you for tuning in, and we will have 3 other segments to this series, and the series will be shown in May in celebration of Older Americans Month.